Alright, what I missed, we're one and the same. DraptorRonin back. Last time on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, we made it to Mount Freeze after defeating Articuno and getting a new team member in the form of Gintoki, the Absol. Let's see. As far as items wise, we could probably do some storage. Let's store this Hunger Seed, Oranberry, Blowback Orb. I don't think we need that many Reviver Seeds, but I'll just restore one and get one apple. I know that Mount Freeze, the dungeon that we're about to take on, actually has Reviver Seeds that spawn in the dungeon. That you can just find them on the ground. Oh, and here's a Pokemon right here, a Swablu. Forgot the name of it for a bit. But yeah, this is Mount Freeze. It is a 15-floor dungeon with a like a 4 or 5 floor sub dungeon with it, and then a second part to it, the peak. Let's see, and yeah. And as of recording, this is the day before Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon gets released, and it's a day or two after, a few days I would say, after the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Red and Blue Rescue Team in Japan, actually. Right now it's the 19th of 2015, November 19th, 2015 is the day I'm recording. So I just thought I'd make that worth mentioning. I remember playing getting this game, actually not necessarily day of release in America, but at the time it was still relevant. I got the Red Rescue Team for the Game Boy Advance, and boy was I happy when I got Trico the first time on the quiz thing. Yeah, it was, I just felt accomplished because of that. And I had a Totodile partner and went through the game, did a similar thing where I grinded up to a good high level just so I can beat Articuno and then make it through the rest of the game a bit easier. Because this game actually is a bit harder if you come to stop and think about it, as far as game mechanics wise, when you compare it to, say, its sequel, Reviver Seed. If you compare it to like Time and Darkness and Sky, it is actually in some ways a lot easier. I'm not sure how to. Let's see. For example, if you wanted to eat something, only you get to eat it rather than choosing who to use it with, and yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, done with Link Box. And then just certain mechanics, like, let me just say this upright. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue Rescue Team's AI is a little bit busted. Now, how so, you may ask? Well, let's take for example, one time I was playing in a playthrough. Okay, you first has to learn Bite over Taunt. Get some Stab at least. But let's see. Yeah, the AI is busted. One playthrough, I went on a mission that literally made me restart. That I rage quitted and restarted my entire game. I just deleted my save file and started fresh because of the frustration of that mission. You know what happened? It was an escort mission in the southern caverns with a Vileplume. Now you may be thinking to yourself, okay, what's the matter? The Vileplume repeatedly used growth. Like every time you took a step, it would use growth. Every time a Pokemon would come nearby, it used growth. It would use growth so much that eventually it ran out of PP and then wouldn't move. And then one of the busted things about the AI in this game is if a partner Pokemon tries to use a move that doesn't have any PP left, it will just say the move cannot be used, and wastes their turn with them trying to use it. And there is an IQ skill in this game that does do it, but then they won't be. It has to be. It can only be used. But if it is activated, then they can't have the PP No, they can't have the exclusive move use or IQ skill, which allows them to use only moves and like actual moves and not just a regular attack. Which, yeah. But this, and you can always switch side. See if the Vileplume was actually a part of the team, I could have switched the IQ skill, and ram blam kablam, I could have finished the mission. But you know what happened? I went in there and it ran out of growth and kept trying to use growth, and wouldn't move afterwards. Do you know how frustrating that was? I went through, I want to say like 7 reviver seeds, and eventually failed the mission, and that lost some X-ray specs, which were the only ones I had in that save file, mind you, as well as a ton of money that I had forgotten to get to the bank. And I actually lost, I think, maybe even a joy seed that I was intending to eat but just forgot to. It was just so infuriating. I was so mad. I was just like you just wanted to rage quit. And I did, and I overdid it, and just was like, you know what, fuck this. I am restarting so I don't have to do this mission. I could have just deleted the mission, but no, I had to be the little 14-year-old shit that I was and restart the game completely. Well, maybe what I did was, I couldn't think of it, maybe it was I rage quit for a while, and then not wanting to do that mission, I just decided, well, I would rather just do a full playthrough again, just to refresh myself of what the hell is going on. Yeah, that's probably something like that. I need water. But story time with little to no speed up finds that we are actually coming through this dungeon quite well. Well, items we got. Patch of Scarf, Special Band. Hidden Power. Hidden Power in this game is interesting because it changes type with every dungeon you go into. Because in the main series games, Hidden Power's power and Hidden Power's type, and for a while its power was determined by your IVs. Well, in the Mystery Dungeon games, IVs are not really a thing. There's an arbitrary base stat thing for each Pokemon, and usually when you go up a level, you get I want to say some stats or whatever, but nothing that would. But you can't. There's no real EV training. You can. There is the calcium, carbos, zinc, protein, that sort of stuff in the game, but they raise your stat by an what's the word I'm looking for? They just straight up raise the stat, and it can be used as many times as you want until, I don't know, until there's like some kind of level, there's some kind of stat cap for each Pokemon, which I don't even know if that's really the case. Level 28. Yeah, no. Alright, yeah, so EVs are not really a thing in this game. I'm gonna throw this gummy at Gintoki. Get him to eat this. Good, PP checker. That's a good IQ skill. There's a slacking over there. Anyways, yeah. Now, I personally find, yeah, that's one thing of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue Rescue Team's AI being busted. The other is the controls. Now, I don't remember. I did have Blue Rescue Team on the Nintendo DS for a while, but then I gave it away. I'm not exactly, and even though I do kind of want it back, I don't know if I ever will actually want to get it back. Like, or I guess I should say is I don't know if I ever will get it back, because the person I gave it to moved to Idaho and I'm in Montana, and I have no idea when she's going to come here back to Montana to see her dad, because yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, but with Blue Rescue Team having slightly different controls than Red Rescue Team, but still had the basic controls overall. Now, here's something to keep in mind. Let's go find an opponent to fight. When we fight, now let's use Shockwave for example. Don't use Quick Attack, thank you. Alright, and then it resets back up to Facade, meaning you'd have to go all the way down or all the way up again, I suppose. Which in, like, I've been playing a lot of Explorers of Sky lately. It stays on that move, and actually in Explorers of Sky, if I ever, which I will show off in a possible future Let's Play, if you press X on, you press X, you open up the menu. Press X again, and you'll go to the moves, and press X again, and you'll use the move that the cursor is on. I find that is very nice shortcut, not as convenient as the holding down L and then A, or in the Gates to Infinity and presumably Super Mystery Dungeon, to hold down L and then A, B, X, Y. Yeah, it's not quite as help of a shortcut, but still, it is something. Gonna speed up a little. Pick up the Graveler Rock. Scratch Bite. Alright, I think we are... yeah, we are at the midway point. Kangaskhan Rock, might as well save, and I'll get a drink of water. Alright. Let's continue on, because this episode's a little short. Mount Freeze Peak. Now, if I'm not mistaken, here at Mount Freeze Peak, it's like you won't find any weather, and some of the only Pokemon you'll find really are just Glalie, maybe something else. But there's a Glalie. Shockwave it, Scratch Bite. They do give pretty darn good experience, especially if you have a link to move. Scratch Bite. But I tell you, and if you are wondering why you see the dots on the screen, it's because I have X-ray specs on in this game. I found some in between last episode and the episode before that. And yeah, I found a Kecleon shop in a dungeon, and they happened to have a Reviver Seeds and a pair of some X-ray specs, and I had enough money for everything because while grinding I picked up every piece of Poke I could find. So yeah, at some point I had over 9,000 Poke, so why the hell not? Scratch Bite. Walk up here. Ooh, a white gummy. I want that white gummy. Just do a regular attack. Mega Drain. 22. And let's see. Do you have the white gummy? You do. I want that because if you don't know, white gummies are best for normal types, and that's what Meowth is. Okay, Mount Freeze Peak 4. And Gintoki has some Iron Thorns, apparently. I guess that works. Pick up more money. Throw that. Alright. Let's get back to Shockwave. Rock. Where are the stairs? Where are the stairs? I wish X-ray specs could tell you where the stairs are. I know there's an IQ skill in later. Anyways, let's get on with the plot. We finally arrived. This is the summit, isn't it? Wonder where Ninetales is. There they are. We spotted Ben. Alright, I see them. Oh god. Alakazam. It's about time. We finally caught up to you. Your fugitive act dragged us all the way out here. Pipe down, Tyranitar. We can finally settle things here. I can barely contain myself. I'm itching for a fight. Sheeran, don't think badly of me. I don't know how to show mercy. Ben. I didn't wish for this conclusion, but this too is fate. The role of a rescue team is to help bring peace. We will crush you with every shred of our power. Get them! Ha! Ha! Ah! Cease this at once! What? Huh? Ninetales. What? Ninetales? That's Ninetales? The legend, it was real? Cease this fighting at once, Alakazam. They are my guests. Tell us, Ninetales. Who was the human that appeared in your legend? No, even before that. Was the legend itself a true event? Depending on your reply, I may have no choice but to eliminate them. Whatever you consider my curse to be legend or not, I care not. However, it did happen. Many years ago, I tried to lay a curse on a human. It was then, however, that Gardevoir, the human's partner, dashed in and selfishly bore the full brunt of the curse meant for the human. Then, the human did a selfish and cowardly thing, abandoned the Gardevoir and fled. And the human eventually became a Pokemon, transformed into Pokemon, the human, and the human lives on. That human would be? Who is that human you speak of? Ben? You may relax. It is not you. Just now? What did you just say? Ben is not the human that appears in the legend. That is what I said. What? What's happening to me? I can't move. Deep breaths. In, out. In, out. Oh, wow, fantastic. That's great. Ben, I'm so glad. I knew it. I knew there was no way Ben could be doing those terrible things. I have another thing to say. It is true that I foretold that the world's balance would become unstable. However, that human becoming a Pokemon and the world's balance are not linked in any way. The cause of the natural calamities exists elsewhere. Hey, you were wrong. You were about to hound us and harass Ben. We apologize. We're sorry. We got worked up by that Gengar. No, I suspected Gengar from the start. Ben just doesn't seem like that treacherous type. If only that were true. But I must say, you have to be commended for your prevailing through this cruel journey and discovering the truth. Impressive, Ben. Excellent. I knew it. Huh? Oh, but wait. Why did Ben turn into a Pokemon? I understand that he is the human from legend. Then how do you explain Ben becoming a Pokemon? Who are you? Oh god, it's an earthquake. A quake? This world's crust is shifting. The natural calamities are worsening. And the shifting of the ground. It will awaken the beast that embodies the ground. The beast that slept deep underground. Groudon will be awakened. What? Groudon is rising? Groudon? What is that? What's a Groudon? A legendary Pokemon that has been spoken of in myths. It is a Pokemon that raised land masses and created continents. It is said to have taken to sleep after catastrophic battles with its arch enemy, Kyogre. If Groudon were to be loose, there would be chaos. It must be stopped. We will go. We'll go too. No, you must remain behind. Groudon is far more powerful than any Pokemon you have faced. Leave it to us. That's how it goes. We'll go back to your rescue. You go back to your rescue team base for a well-earned rest. Don't worry about us. We didn't get our gold rank the easy way. We'll get this job done, and we'll be back before you know it. Fine. We're off to quell Groudon. And thus, Alakazam's team made their underground to quell the awakened Groudon. Meanwhile, cleared of all suspicion, Ben's team put an end to their long, arduous journey and returned to their welcoming rescue team base that was not foreclosed by Wigglytuff. Save the game, and see you next episode.